Taylor Swift is having bad blood with Blake Lively. I am not your dragon. I knew it. Blood is brewing, Kim. Look, this now.
Blake Lively. The whole thing's gone. What does that even mean? In Hollywood, alliances can either lift you up or bring you down. One moment, you're everyone's favorite power couple, and the next, you're seeing friends, colleagues, and even family quietly disappear. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have spent years building their image as charming, witty, and the definition of relationship goals. But now, unexpected events are shaking that flawless reputation. You won't believe which A-list stars are pulling away from them, starting with none other than Taylor Swift. And trust me,
I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine.
For years, Taylor Swift and Blake Lively were absolutely inseparable. They took luxurious vacations together, shared playful Instagram moments, and seemed like an unbreakable pair in Hollywood's elite social circles. Ryan Reynolds also had a close connection with Taylor, frequently making surprise appearances in her social media posts and openly supporting her music career. Their families were tight-knit, with Swift even using the names of Lively and Reynolds' children in her songs, a touching tribute to their bond. So, what changed? Sources recently revealed that Taylor played a major role in the production, but there's
she feels like she was leveraging her name. As we reported, there was a critical meeting at Blake and Ryan's penthouse with Justin to discuss a scene that Blake had rewritten for It Ends With Us. Justin has said the meeting got super heated, and he felt ambushed because Ryan and Taylor showed up.
The growing drama between Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and It Ends With Us director Justin Baldoni placed Taylor Swift in a tough and awkward position. As whispers of behind-the-scenes intimidation tactics spread, reports surfaced that Lively had allegedly used Taylor's name and influence to strengthen her stance in the dispute, without Taylor's full awareness or approval. This shocking revelation, combined with leaked private text messages suggesting Lively's strategic maneuvering, created serious tension. What was once an unshakable friendship now appeared to be on the verge of collapse, leaving fans questioning whether their bond.
Taylor Swift feels like she was used by Blake Lively in her war with Justin Baldoni. She resents Blake calling her one of her dragons and leveraging her name. What did I say, Kim?
One of the most shocking claims to surface is that Blake Lively reportedly referred to Taylor Swift as one of her dragons, a term implying a powerful ally she could summon in conflicts. According to a YouTube livestream analyzing the situation, Lively allegedly invoked Swift's name to pressure Justin Baldoni during the heated fallout over It Ends With Us. Taylor, who fiercely protects her image and brand, was reportedly unaware of how deeply she had been dragged into the controversy. This misuse of her influence didn't sit well with her at all. The idea that her name was being used as a bargaining tool in a Hollywood dispute, without her knowledge or approval, must have felt like a deep betrayal, one that played out publicly in a way she had no.
Deposition of Taylor Swift is like a nightmare for her. It's a nightmare. It's got to be a nightmare for Blake and Ryan. No one wants Taylor. I'm sure last thing they're going to want is Taylor Swift to go get subpoenaed.
A major turning point in the fallout seems to be a private meeting held at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' luxurious penthouse. According to Lively's account, Taylor Swift was completely aware of the gathering's purpose, to discuss the growing It Ends With Us controversy with Justin Baldoni. However, insiders close to Swift tell a very different story. They claim Taylor believed she was simply offering emotional support to a close friend, unaware that she was stepping into a much larger Hollywood power struggle. The idea that she had been unknowingly pulled into behind-the-scenes industry drama likely didn't.
It's questionable, at minimum, and I would not be surprised if Taylor was upset about that. One of the things I've said through this whole thing that I cannot reconcile is that Taylor has been such an advocate.
If true, this would certainly explain why Taylor Swift is said to feel manipulated by Blake Lively's actions. Being unknowingly placed at the center of a messy Hollywood conflict is the last thing Taylor would ever want, especially considering her long history of being dragged into public controversies. She has spent years carefully managing her image, avoiding unnecessary industry drama, and keeping control over her own narrative. The idea that her name was used without her permission, in a dispute she had no real involvement in, must have felt like a serious betrayal, one that she likely won't forget.
Blake Lively, you deserve all of this. This is a reckoning she needs to hear. This isn't bullying.
Despite the ongoing swirl of rumors, Taylor Swift has chosen to stay silent about the situation, at least publicly. This approach aligns perfectly with her usual style of not directly addressing personal conflicts, instead choosing to channel them into her music. If history is any guide, fans can likely expect subtle hints of this drama to appear in her future lyrics, cryptic social media posts, or even shifts within her inner circle. However, her silence doesn't mean she's not taking action. Recent reports indicate that Swift has been quietly stepping back from her connections with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, even removing them from her Super Bowl suite guest list. Given her track record of cutting ties with former friends and collaborators who cross boundaries, this move suggests she's making a clear and decisive break. While she may not be speaking out, her actions speak volumes.
I need help. I need backup. You don't do that without talking to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. People are putting snake emojis. Taylor hates snakes. Kim Kardashian, all these.
While neither side has come forward with an official statement, their actions are telling a story of their own. Taylor Swift's quiet but noticeable distancing hints that this friendship might be on shaky ground, and if history is any guide, it may not bounce back. If her past behavior is anything to go by, Taylor is likely taking her time to process everything before making any big decisions. But when she does act, you can bet it will be thoughtful, deliberate, and ultimately final. This measured approach is something her fans have come to expect, as she rarely rushes into decisions, especially when it comes to personal relationships. For now, the silence speaks volumes, and it's clear that this situation is.
Justin starts fighting back by releasing overwhelming evidence against Blake. And what did Colleen do this time? She deactivated the same account she used as a platform to stand up for Blake, which is a way to remove herself from the conversation after seeing.
For Blake Lively, the damage might already be irreversible. Losing Taylor Swift's trust, and by extension, access to her influential network, could have lasting consequences. As more people in Hollywood start reevaluating their relationships, with Lively and Ryan Reynolds, their once untouchable public image is showing clear signs of cracking. The drama surrounding It Ends With Us seems to have sparked this tension, and Lively's handling of the situation has only reinforced some of the less favorable opinions people have about her. Interestingly, it was Justin Baldoni, the film's director, who first reached out to Colleen Hoover, the best-selling author behind the book. Hoover had initially been a strong supporter of Lively's casting in the adaptation, even publicly celebrating her involvement. But as tensions grew between Lively, Reynolds, and Baldoni, Hoover found herself caught in the middle of an unexpected controversy, one that ultimately led her to quietly distance herself from Lively in a very noticeable way. When the fallout began, Hoover made a surprising move. She deactivated her Instagram account. This sudden exit from social media left fans speculating whether she was trying to steer clear of the escalating drama. The controversy surrounding It Ends With Us was reaching new heights, and rumors swirled that Hoover might be reconsidering her support for Lively's role in the project. But what really fueled the speculation was what happened when Hoover eventually returned to Instagram. Instead of resuming her usual activity, she wiped her account clean, deleting 32 posts and removing all mentions of Blake Lively. If that wasn't enough of a statement, she also unfollowed 11 accounts, with Lively's name conspicuously absent from her now much smaller list of follows. This subtle but deliberate shift sent a clear message. Hoover was stepping back from the drama, and her once strong support for Lively had.
Crown straightener, Blake Lively. Is she following Colleen? Let's see. No, it's not following a single Colleen. Not a single one. Is she following Justin?
Interestingly, while Blake Lively no longer follows Colleen Hoover on social media, Hoover still follows Lively. This small but telling detail has sparked a lot of debate among fans. Does Hoover still feel some sense of loyalty toward Lively, or is this a strategic move to keep things low-key and avoid drawing more attention to the tension? Hoover seems to be creating distance without making a direct public statement. By removing all traces of Lively from her social media, she's sending a clear message without outright addressing the controversy. However, the fact that she hasn't fully unfollowed Lively suggests she might still be figuring out where she stands in this conflict. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's release of damning evidence against Blake has only added fuel to the fire. Amidst all this, rumors began swirling. that Colleen Hoover might be considering early retirement from writing. But that's not all. There's an even wilder blind item suggesting Hoover is allegedly thinking about filing a lawsuit against Blake and Ryan Reynolds over promises that were made, but not kept. It's been reported that Blake made several promises to Colleen, both publicly and privately, including a commitment to collaborate on adapting more of her books into movies. Now, it seems those promises may have fallen through, and Colleen is reportedly considering legal action to protect herself. While these rumors remain unconfirmed, it's clear that Hoover is trying to distance herself from Blake and Ryan as the situation continues to backfire. She started by removing social media from her phone and cutting off communication with Blake, despite having supported her earlier in the controversy. Colleen isn't the only one having a change of heart. Blake's own brother-in-law is. Also reportedly stepping back from the drama, Hoover's apparent shift in loyalty could have serious consequences. After Baldoni released incriminating evidence against Lively, Hoover reportedly reconsidered her stance. Some sources even claim she's exploring legal action against Lively and Reynolds for broken promises, possibly related to creative control, or contractual obligations tied to the film adaptation. If Hoover does decide to pursue a lawsuit, it could mark a major turning point in this already messy dispute. Given her initial enthusiasm for the project, a legal battle would signify a complete breakdown in her relationship with Lively and Reynolds, turning a behind-the-scenes feud into a very public and dramatic showdown. While Hoover has remained mostly silent, her actions, like deleting posts and stepping back from social media, are speaking volumes, leaving fans to piece together the story as it unfolds. Blake Lively's brother-in-law, Bart Johnson, Best, known for playing Coach Bolton in High School Musical, has found himself caught in the middle of the drama surrounding It Ends With Us. Married to Blake's sister, Robin Lively, Johnson initially jumped to Blake's defense when the controversy with Justin Baldoni first erupted. He even took subtle jabs at Baldoni on social media, criticizing what he called performative behavior and referencing a man bun, which many saw as a clear dig at Baldoni's signature hairstyle and emotional storytelling style. However, as new evidence surfaced and the legal back and forth intensified, Johnson began to backtrack. He deleted some of his earlier posts and issued a vague apology, claiming his comments were never directed at anyone specific. But fans weren't buying it, calling out his passive-aggressive approach and demanding he take real accountability. Johnson's apology, while broad, avoided directly naming Baldoni or admitting fault, which only fueled more criticism. He framed it as a general statement about negativity, saying, "Anytime I've said anything unkind about someone, I've regretted it." But many felt his words lacked sincerity, especially as the evidence against Blake and Ryan Reynolds continued to pile up. Insiders report that Johnson has since started distancing himself from the controversy, no longer defending Blake as fiercely as he once did. This shift suggests he may have realized he was on the wrong side of the dispute, especially as the cast of It Ends With Us began unfollowing him on social media, a move that didn't go unnoticed by fans. Meanwhile, Colleen Hoover, the author behind It Ends With Us, has also been quietly stepping back from the drama. By unfollowing Blake on social media, deleting posts, and removing herself from the conversation, Hoover has made it clear she no longer wants to be associated with the controversy. Whether she'll eventually break her silence remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Blake Lively has lost a powerful ally, and the cracks in her Hollywood support system are growing wider. As the fallout continues, it's clear that this drama is far from over, and the ripple effects could have lasting consequences. Then came the moment that shocked fans. Bart Johnson publicly admitted he had been misled. While he didn't outright throw Blake Lively under the bus, he acknowledged that he had spoken too soon and now saw things differently. His shift in perspective suggested he had either been presented with new information or had finally taken a step back to evaluate the situation more objectively. "If I've ever said anything that sounds mean, I'll do better," he said, adding, "If you follow me, you know it's hard to find more than one time I've criticized anyone on social media." But fans quickly pointed out that wasn't entirely true, as they dug up past posts where Johnson had taken jabs at Justin Baldoni. This revelation wasn't just a personal admission, it was a major blow to Lively and Ryan Reynolds. If even family members were beginning to question their actions, what did that say about the strength of their defense? Johnson's change of heart highlights the growing divide between Lively and those who once supported her. His initial defense of Blake was one of the strongest she had in the public eye, but now, with even her brother-in-law reconsidering his stance, it signals that the tide is turning against her. If Johnson, who has every reason to stand by family, is starting to see the truth, who else might follow? The controversy is far from over, but one thing is clear. Lively and Reynolds' once solid support system is rapidly crumbling. Speaking of past relationships, let's rewind to 2008 when Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson. The two were Hollywood's golden couple until their unexpected split in 2010. While both have remained private about their divorce, persistent rumors suggest that Blake Lively played a role in the breakdown of their marriage. Fast forward to today, and Johansson's recent collaboration with Justin Baldoni has sparked speculation that she might be subtly siding against her ex-husband and his wife. The drama dates back to Green Lantern, the 2011 film where Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively first met. At the time, Reynolds was still married to Johansson, while Lively was dating her Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley. However, rumors of an on-set romance between Reynolds and Lively began swirling even before their respective breakups. Reynolds later joked, "We were buddies then. I remember it was funny because we were both single. We went on a double date. She was on a date with another guy, and I was on a date with another girl." Though nothing was ever confirmed, industry insiders and gossip columns speculated that their chemistry was too strong to be strictly professional. Adding fuel to the fire, a now-deleted tweet from a writer alleged that the two shared a romantic encounter in New Orleans during filming, an accusation that, while never proven, only intensified the speculation. Johansson has never directly addressed the rumors, but in various interviews over the years, she has alluded to the challenges of being in a relationship with a fellow actor. Many believe her remarks about controlling partners were subtle references to Reynolds, hinting at underlying tensions in their marriage. Whether or not there's truth to the rumors, one thing is certain: the history between these Hollywood stars is deeper and more complicated than it seems, and it continues to cast a shadow over their present-day drama. The alleged cheating scandal has left lingering tension between Blake Lively and Scarlett Johansson, with insiders claiming they intentionally avoid each other at all costs. Fast forward to the present, and the controversy involving Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni has taken center stage. While much of the entertainment world has focused on the fallout between Lively and her former allies, Johansson's actions have flown under the radar, yet they might be more telling than any public statement. Recently, Johansson and Baldoni announced a new film project together, Eleanor the Great, with Justin funding the project through his company, Wayfarer Studios, and Johansson making her directorial debut. Many see this collaboration as a strategic move. Though Johansson has never publicly commented on the Lively Reynolds-Baldoni feud, her decision to align herself professionally with Baldoni could be interpreted as a quiet rejection of her ex-husband and his. Given Hollywood's intricate web of alliances, it's unlikely Johansson's collaboration with Baldoni is purely coincidental. Many speculate she views this as an opportunity to indirectly distance herself from Reynolds while showing support for someone she believes has been unfairly targeted. This partnership is particularly noteworthy considering Blake reportedly pressured Justin for years to give her more creative control over scripts. Lively and Reynolds have long maintained a carefully curated image of the perfect Hollywood marriage, but the resurfacing of old rumors, combined with Johansson's subtle moves, threatens to challenge that narrative. If Johansson is indeed signaling her disapproval, it could further isolate the couple at a time when their public image is already under fire. And if more details about their past emerge, it could reopen old wounds they've worked hard to keep buried. Whether intentional or not, Johansson's quiet alignment with Baldoni serves as a reminder that the past is never truly forgotten in Hollywood. And for Blake and Ryan, that could spell trouble. Meanwhile, another surprising twist has emerged. Penn Badgley, Blake's ex and former Gossip Girl co-star, has seemingly picked a side in the controversy. And it's not Blake's. One of the tactics Blake reportedly used in her feud with Justin was unfollowing him on Instagram and encouraging the rest of the cast to do the same. But in a shocking move, Penn not only didn't unfollow Justin, he actively follows him. Penn and Blake's relationship was once the epitome of young Hollywood romance. Their on-screen chemistry on Gossip Girl translated into a real-life love story, making them one of the most talked-about couples of the late 2000s. Despite their breakup in 2010, the two managed to maintain a respectful, drama-free public relationship. Until now, Penn has always been known for his introspective and philosophical nature, a stark contrast to the glitz and glam of Hollywood. His journey toward self-discovery, which led him to spirituality and mindfulness, placed him in the same sphere as Justin Baldoni, who is widely recognized for his advocacy of emotional intelligence and vulnerability in men. While their friendship remained under the radar for years, the recent fallout with Lively has pushed it into the spotlight. By supporting Justin, Penn has made it clear where his loyalties lie. What's even more surprising is that before this drama, Penn and Blake seemed to be on good terms. No public feuds, no passive-aggressive interviews, just two exes who had moved on. But when the controversy between Baldoni and Lively erupted, Penn made a move that sent shockwaves through social media. He unfollowed Blake. In the world of Hollywood, an unfollow is rarely just an unfollow. It's a statement. And in this case, it was a loud one. Penn's decision to sever digital ties with Blake was widely interpreted as a sign that he had chosen a side, and it wasn't hers. While Penn Badgley didn't issue a formal statement about the controversy, those familiar with his character knew his actions weren't taken lightly. Known for avoiding public feuds and unnecessary drama, Penn's decision to unfollow Blake Lively on social media spoke volumes. It suggested he had seen enough behind the scenes to make an informed decision, one that didn't align with her actions. Interestingly, Penn and Justin Baldoni share more than just a professional connection. They're both followers of the Baha'i Faith, a religion founded in the 19th century that emphasizes unity, equality, and the oneness of humanity. This shared spiritual foundation has likely strengthened their bond, making Penn's support for Justin even more meaningful. What makes this situation even more compelling is the depth of Penn and Justin's friendship. While it may not have been as publicly visible as Blake's past connections, those in the industry have long known about their mutual respect for each other. Both actors have openly discussed their personal growth journeys, their commitment to mindfulness, and their desire to use their platforms for something more meaningful than Hollywood gossip. Their shared interest in spirituality and self-improvement has placed them on the same path long before this controversy emerged. In 2022, Justin even appeared on Penn's podcast, Podcrushed, in an episode titled How Justin Baldoni Knew She Was the One, where they discussed relationships and life philosophies. For Penn, siding with Justin wasn't about an old ex-girlfriend or petty Hollywood drama. It was about integrity. If Justin had evidence to back his claims, and if the truth painted Blake and Ryan in a different light than their carefully crafted public image, Penn wasn't going to stay silent. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, known for their wit and playful personas, have long been Hollywood darlings with the power to shape. But this time, their attempts to sway Hollywood against Justin backfired spectacularly. Blake reportedly believed her old connections, including Penn, would stand by her out of loyalty. However, she underestimated how much Penn had evolved. He's no longer the gossip girl heartthrob caught up in Hollywood's PR games. He's someone who prioritizes values and principles over past affiliations. Penn's decision to distance himself from Blake is just one example of the shifting dynamics in Hollywood, where blind loyalty is no longer the norm. With the rise of social media, leaked messages, and receipts, celebrities can no longer rely on their status to shield them from accountability. The entertainment industry is evolving, and the old power dynamics that Blake and Ryan tried to leverage are losing their grip. Penn's actions signal a new era, where relationships are built on genuine values and beliefs rather than superficial connections. Meanwhile, another intriguing layer to this story is the reported tension between Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. While their on-screen chemistry in A Simple Favor 2018 was undeniable, rumors of off-screen friction have persisted. The tension allegedly began when Anna made a joke about Taylor Swift, Blake's close friend, which didn't sit well with her. Though both actresses remained professional, fans noticed subtle signs of strain during the film's press tour, with Anna appearing reserved whenever Blake was mentioned. Despite the rumors, the two returned to film the sequel, which wrapped in April 2023, proving that in Hollywood, even the frostiest relationships can sometimes be set aside for the sake of a project. However, their body language and interactions during promotions hinted that all might not be as smooth as it seemed. Confident person. And so, for me, yeah, I sort of struggled with the sequel to A Simple Favor in the works. Many expected the feud to be buried. However, insiders suggest that the tension hasn't completely disappeared, and now, with Lively facing scrutiny over her public dispute with Justin Baldwin. Kendrick's quiet distance from her former co-stars being viewed in a new light hated each other and weren't speaking by the end of the filming. They began acting like enemies, but the studio had to talk to them and tell them to act like friends. While on their tour, which didn't seem to help, because many more words were exchanged in a playful manner that sources close to the production of A Simple Favor claimed that the friction between Lively and Kendrick wasn't the result of a single dramatic incident, but rather a slow buildup of differences for starters. Their personalities were wildly Blake. Lively is known for her extroverted, effortlessly charming presence, always quick with a joke, and often the center of attention in interviews. Anna Kendrick, on the other hand, leans into dry humor and self-deprecation, with a more reserved and methodical approach to her work. Some reports suggest that Lively's dominant personality sometimes clashed with Kendrick's quieter demeanor, creating an undercurrent of tension. Then there's the issue of competitiveness. While Lively was a bigger name at the time, Kendrick was an Oscar-nominated actress with a loyal fan base. Their film, A Simple Favor, was supposed to be a balanced two-hander, but insiders claimed Lively wanted to command more of the spotlight, whether it was through red carpet positioning, marketing materials, or overall star power. Whispers of behind-the-scenes power struggles began to surface, adding fuel to the rumors of a feud. Adding another layer to their strained dynamic was Lively's close friendship with Taylor Swift. While Kendrick and Swift have no known beef, they don't appear to be particularly close either. Some fans speculate that Lively's inner circle, which included Swift and her A-list squad, may have unintentionally created a sense of exclusivity that Kendrick felt left out of. There were even rumors that Lively made subtle digs at Kendrick's social standing in Hollywood, reinforcing the idea that she was the bigger star of the two. While this has never been publicly confirmed, industry insiders have long noted that Hollywood friend groups can be just as cutthroat as high school cliques. If there was any lingering awkwardness, it may have been amplified when Swift released Reputation in 2017, an album widely regarded as her most vengeful and call-out heavy work. Though it's unclear if Kendrick was a specific target, fans speculated that Lively's involvement in Swift's circle at the time may have. Fast forward to today, and both actresses are set to reprise their roles in A Simple Favor 2X. Many assumed that if the feud had been real, it would have prevented the sequel from happening. However, Hollywood is full of co-stars who may not like each other but still show up for a paycheck. Insiders claim that while Lively and Kendrick are remaining professional, they are not particularly friendly on set. Unlike other co-stars who gush about reuniting for a sequel, neither actress has publicly expressed excitement about working together again. Kendrick, known for her blunt honesty, has subtly hinted at less than perfect work experiences in the past. In a 2020 interview, she discussed how difficult it can be to work with certain personalities in Hollywood, leading some to speculate she may have been referencing Lively. Meanwhile, Lively, who usually dominates PR efforts surrounding her projects, has been noticeably silent about Kendrick in recent interviews. Whether this is an attempt to avoid reigniting old rumors or a sign that the tension still lingers is up for debate. With Lively's public image taking a hit due to her feud with Justin Baldwin, Kendrick's long-standing reputation for professionalism and relatability has only grown stronger, making their dynamic even more intriguing as they head into the sequel. Blake Lively's personal trainer, Don Saladino, recently found himself in the spotlight after a playful yet awkward Instagram post. Blake jokingly credited Saladino for her 4 kids, tagging him and writing, "Wait, no, that's not how it works. He's not the father. He's just the one who helps me fit into my clothes again. He's an even better person." While the post was lighthearted, it highlighted the close relationship between celebrities and their trainers, who often witness more than just physical transformations. They're privy to private conversations, personal struggles, and behind the scenes. Dynamics that rarely make it to the public eye. For years, Saladino wasn't just a fitness coach for Blake. He was part of her trusted inner circle, helping her prepare for demanding film roles and publicly celebrating her progress. He also trained Ryan Reynolds, shaping him for action-packed films like Deadpool and Free Guy. Their professional relationship seemed solid, built on mutual trust and long-standing collaboration. However, amid the ongoing controversy between Blake, Ryan, and Justin Baldoni, Saladino has quietly begun distancing himself from the couple. He started by removing old photos, workout sessions, and glowing references to his past collaborations with Reynolds from his social media. Gone were the posts where he once praised Ryan's discipline and dedication to fitness. This subtle but deliberate erasure of their digital history raised eyebrows, especially since Saladino isn't known for engaging in celebrity drama. He's built his reputation on professionalism, results, and discretion, making his silent disengagement all the more telling. Adding to the intrigue, Saladino shared an Instagram story featuring an article that subtly mocked Ryan Reynolds' behavior, specifically referencing the nice guy's character in Deadpool. While he didn't openly criticize Ryan or Blake, the timing of this post, combined with his removal of their shared history, sent a clear message he was stepping back from the couple. This move was particularly surprising given that Blake had originally referred Justin Baldoni to Saladino when they were still friends. The trainer's quiet rebellion has sparked speculation about what might have led to this shift. Was it a personal fallout, a conflict over business dealings, or did Saladino witness something behind the scenes that made him rethink his loyalty? Personal trainers rarely get involved in Hollywood feuds. Their careers don't depend on public perception. They focus on helping clients achieve their fitness goals and maintain professional relationships. That's what makes Saladino's actions so significant. He didn't have to pick a side, but it seems he did anyway. Whether it was a first-hand experience or simply observing how Blake and Ryan handled their latest controversy, his decision to distance himself speaks volumes. The unraveling of their celebrity alliances spells trouble for the once-beloved power couple. In Hollywood, reputation and relationships are everything, and when A-listers start pulling away, the damage can be hard to undo. This controversy exposes an uncomfortable truth. Even the most carefully curated images can crack under pressure, and those closest to you might not always stay in your corner. This situation reveals an unsettling truth about Hollywood. Friendships are often built on convenience, and when public perception shifts, those connections can crumble overnight. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the fallout is far from over. With each defection from their inner circle, their carefully constructed image takes another hit. The couple, who once effortlessly wielded their star power, are now fighting to maintain their footing in an industry that seems to be turning its back on them. From former allies quietly distancing themselves to public figures subtly choosing sides, the cracks in their golden image are becoming harder to ignore. Now, the big question remains: can Ryan and Blake recover from this, or is this the beginning of the end for Hollywood's once-beloved power couple? As the drama unfolds, it's clear that in Hollywood, even the strongest alliances can falter when the spotlight turns harsh. The couple's next moves will be crucial in determining whether they can rebuild their reputation or if this marks a permanent shift